Back at St. Uteck Stadium, ideal playing conditions for this time of year. Mainly sunny, +5 is the playing surface this afternoon. St. Uteck's won the toss and elect to defer. Ben Hadley, number 23, to kick off for St. Uteck's. Back deep, number 7, Ted Kabongo, to receive for the Huskies.
And we talked about Kabongo. He can do a lot of things, and he does them well. A little bit of a breeze, not too much. We can see the kicker resetting because it blew off, but it tends to gust a little bit. But as you said, Vince, beautiful weather conditions, considering that Saskatchewan played last week and started the game at minus 13 degrees Celsius. So they're looking forward to this.
And we are underway. Favre back there deep with Kabongo, and he is wrapped up quickly. And that'll summon the offense onto the field.
Beautiful job down there. Josh Connors, number 44, getting down, staying in his lane, making the tackle. So big play for St. Uteck.
And Mason Nias, the 6'2", fifth-year senior from Regina, threw for 232 yards last week. In that victory in the Hardy Cup, 22 for 28 from the backfield, and a touchdown and an interception versus UBC. He's looking to open it up early here as he's flanked to the right by Frank. Flag on the play. That's caught by Morin. And a minimal gain, and we'll hear from Greg McLean for the first time. 31 years, Greg McLean, the veteran referee.
So we get a flag against the procedure against Saskatchewan here. We'll take a look at and listen to the call.
Offside au jeu, Saskatchewan, number 89, Premier C.
So St. Uteck starting out in the 30 front, which was a little bit surprising, as deep as they are, but Saskatchewan does have and will use the pass frequently.
So big offside on Everett Iverson. It'll be first down and 15 for the Huskies. Hand off, here's Frank. And he is wrapped up quickly by Fenton, and Alex Fenton, an outstanding defensive end. 9 sacks on the year, 48 solo tackles, 14 for loss, and he is just a juggernaut defensively, John.
So they go quad to the right, trying to spread St. Uteck out. They don't take it, especially Fenton backside. And you can see right there, this is an important one for St. Uteck. They want a strong start. Field position is huge here.
Second down and long for the Huskies. Frank in motion out of the backfield. Nice, fires down the middle. It's tipped and almost intercepted. So a 2-0 for St. Uteck here, and that's the start that Gary Waterman needed.
Well, not great pressure, but enough to make sure that he knew they were there, and then the ball was released a little bit high. A couple of ex-players had a chance. Have a look here at the interception. So you see, rush is not a factor other than he knows there. I saw hands go up. That's good. And there's the 2 ball tip drill that just number 25 there, Ethan Maston, almost had it.
David Sully on the punt for the Huskies. High arcing punt. That's gathered quickly and brought down quickly. Not any room to breathe there on that. Kick return is Harrington. He was huge last weekend in the Loney Bowl. A 94-yard punt return. We got a flag on the play. John, let's check it out.
Late flag coming in. Be interesting. Objectionable conduct against Saskatchewan, so something was said or done. Good job by Saskatchewan getting downfield, but they'll march that off. And St. Uteck, well, couldn't agree with starting in such good field position right now.
By contact.
So they will
after
start
the play. Objectionable conduct. Saskatchewan, number 45. Conduit reprehensible. Saskatchewan. First down.
So at the Saskatchewan 46-yard line, great start for this offense.
Silas Fannion in the backfield, along with Bussey. Fannion fires out wide. Quick pass there, and the first down yardage for Ross, Connor Ross, the 5th-year senior from Colebrook, Nova Scotia.
A 5-and-out pattern. Stay underneath, take what they give you. Right off the back, Silas Fannion right here, taking it. Ross making the catch, then turns it upfield for yards after catch.
Easy pitch and catch there for the X-Men. 1st and 10 on the Huskies 35. Fannion again looking, he's pressured. And he goes back to Ross, and Ross comes up with the catch. Quickly tackled there by Hundeby, Seth Hundeby, the second year from Saskatchewan.
Hundeby, great linebacker. Have a look at him. And Saskatchewan is lucky to get this away as he does. It comes from the outside, a long way around, but he showed some speed. It'll bring up a second down and about 4 or 5 yards.
Manageable down here for the X-Men, pressing for the game's first score. Bussey on the handoff, tries to break a tackle, and he's quickly wrapped up for no gain. Outstanding tackle there on the edge by the Huskies.
They had good blocking at the point of attack. And watch here, and you'll see tacklers come backside. So you've got it. There you see right now, number 99 coming down from backside. Contact's got to be made with them before you go to the second level looking for those linebackers. And that wasn't done.
So the field goal unit coming onto the field. Ben Hadley, number 23 for the X-Men. AUS All-Star Ben Hadley. And he'll try to give the X-Men their first points. The junior from Halifax. 16 for 22 in the regular season. 73%. Kicks up. And the kick is wide. Vavra will bring it out. Vavra fumbles, picks it back up, and he's quickly wrapped up. Outstanding awareness there by Vavra. Almost coughed it up, but that'll be an in and out, and they'll scrimmage from their 20-yard line. So St. FX with an opportunity to put points on the board goes by the wayside.
It does, with a missed wide field goal from a distance that was easily makeable. But here, look at the ripping the ball out and it's loosing. Favre just gets a great bounce to keep possession. So a second chance for Saskatchewan, but starting again deep in their end.
We'll take a break here. We'll step aside. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl on CBC. Back to St. FX Stadium, scoreless tie here, 11:58 remaining in the opening frame. It'll be Huskies possession, their second on the afternoon. They'll scrimmage from the 20-yard line. St. FX, John, had a very good opportunity to put points on the board, but it was that Saskatchewan Husky defense, the number 2 ranked total defense in the country, coming up big for Scott Flory and the Huskies.
They did, and still the opportunity for a field goal was missed, and that's unfortunate. It can be a long afternoon if you don't, for either one of these teams, take the opportunity to get the points when you have the opportunity.
Mason Nias in the pistol. Frank in the backfield. Morin out of the backfield, and Morin with the positive yardage there. That'll be a gain of 5.
Liam Wild did a good job coming up at limiting that to a 3, maybe 4-yard gain. Might have even got a 5 out of it, but good reaction there. Great offensive play. Again, take what they'll give you underneath to get that offense rolling.
Caleb Morin with his first reception of the afternoon. Second down and 4 for the Huskies. Empty backfield. Here's Nias. Pass is caught, and that's first down yardage as he goes right back to Caleb Morin. Excuse me, that was Rhett Vavra.
No pressure, watch here. Lots of time. He can find his receiver, good pattern, turn face to quarterback, show him your numbers.
And the Huskies with 3 outstanding slot backs in Perry, Morin, and Vavra. Nias now with a fresh set of downs. Fakes the handoff to Frank. Motion. Good catch there by Daniel Perry, and Perry close to first down yardage with pickup of about 6 and a manageable second down.
Very manageable, and what I like about this is using the backs coming out of the backfield. That puts a lot of pressure on the linebacker, whoever is reading, and has to pick him up. He's got a long distance to go. So right now, both teams, and Saskatchewan at the minute, taking advantage of that underneath cushion.
Head coach Scott Flory, they had a good look at him in his 5th season. Former Husky, 2-time Vanier Cup champion as a player. Frank in his first carry. Frank breaks it up the middle. That's first down yardage, gain about 12 as Frank gets into the act.
So they're starting to get it together. They're starting to feel their momentum. Have a look at this. Look at, if we can get a picture as he hits the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of white. We can't see too much blue. That means the linemen are getting on their blocks. Man blocking or zone blocking, and they can do both at the same time, one or the other. There's Coach Waterman as he looks on.
Yes, Gary Waterman, AUS Coach of the Year for the 5th time. Nias goes out wide. Pass is caught. And good tackling there by Santa Vex, but a good gain once again on first down for Saskatchewan.
Well, have a look at it here. And I think that's 21 Ethan Kayut. But too much cushion. That ball is in the air long enough that I've got to drop that cushion. We had a lot of that last week against Mounthousing here, where they were giving a lot of cushion. So if you do that, they're going to just keep passing under. Do you come up and take it all away? No. But you shorten that distance so your reaction time can be quicker.
Everett Iverson, his first reception on the afternoon. 4 catches for 28 yards in the Hardy Cup last weekend. Here's Frank. Frank will pick up first down yardage, breaks a couple tackles, and once again, Frank with double-digit carry and back-to-back on sequence. He's starting to open up on the ground.
He is, and there's number 67, Warwick. He's the man. That's why this play happened. Watch him on the right side. You'll see him come into your picture. There he is right there. He gets the corner, the hard corner moved out, and the opening is there for Riker Frank to move it up the field. So good blocking.
Riker Frank with his 14 yards on that carry, and that was opened up by big Jack Warwick, number 67, the Canada West Rookie of the Year. Here's Nias now. Fires over the middle. Pass is caught by Vavra, and he's brought down by Fenton in coverage. So Santa Vex dropping back their defensive end, Alex Fenton.
Well, they were using him in a zone blitz, and you'll see what happens. They get picked up and don't get enough pressure on right away. So zone blitzing, you would bring somebody back into coverage that they don't expect and send somebody else you think you should be. So an attempt to get some pressure on by blitzing, in that case the zone blitz.
Mason Nye is starting to heat up here, 5 for 6. 5 for 5 on this drive for 41 yards. Fakes the handoff. He'll swing it out wide. Here's Perry. And Perry will pick up positive yardage, and that'll be a gain of 8. So Perry with his second catch on the afternoon.
Well, good job, Gabe Richards, getting out there. Caillou as well. But these are working well because they're releasing them out of the backfield a little bit late. So the linebackers and halfbacks have dropped off, now have to return towards the line of scrimmage.
So that'll be 3rd down in less than a yard as the big package will come onto the field for the Huskies. Backup quarterback is into the game. Ethan Watson, he was huge in that semifinal game versus Manitoba. 103 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Watson with the push up front. Looks like he got first down yardage. Continuing the push, and that front 5 is huge for Saskatchewan. They are very big, John.
There's a lot of Western beef up in that front, and they pushed it forward. He should, as you said, have enough, and they will signal a first down. I like the fact they bring a special unit in. I like the fact that the quarterback takes the ball under center, and they pick up that yardage.
We talked about Jack Warwick. He's 6'5", 275 pounds. True freshman from Strathmore, Alberta. And on the other end, Dayton Black, 6'6", 295 pounds. The junior from Brandon, Manitoba. And a Canada West All-Star. 10th play of the drive here for the Huskies. Looking to open up the scoring. Nias, he'll drop back. He'll hit Frank out of the backfield, and Frank will pick up positive yardage once again.
Well, that's a good job of coming up. I think it was Lemoyne jumped on that really quick. Have a look and see. Again, good blocking up front from the big guys. Here's the throw. Now, I think it's Lemoyne right there.
Yes, Chris
Moves
Lemoyne.
up pretty quick. He needs to take it back the other way, but an injured St. FX player coming off
the field slowly.
I think it's Hunter Musso.
Yes, Musso. Junior from Sault Ste. Marie, 6'2", 243 pounds is Hunter. looks to be okay as he'll make his way to the training staff here for St. Avex.
So Mason Nias has things going his way right now. He is filling up the air with footballs, but all of them really good, strong passing underneath. Balls getting there quick. St. Avex has switched from a 40 to a 30 front, back to a 40 front, 41 mainly for run, 30 mainly for pass. And as you see them there now, they're in a 30 front.
The extra defensive back on the field. Nice empty backfield. All kinds of time as Mason Nice. He's pressured though and fumbled as Alex Fetchin got there. Fetchin with the big sack, and that's what Alex Fetchin does. His 10th sack on the season.
Ben Harrington was in there as well, I believe, but just a great job, as you said. Alex Fetchin off his end, been doing this all year and pulls the ball out. That's the second. Good fortune for Saskatchewan. They fumbled down on their own 2 or 3 yard line, then recovered it and recovered this. So we'll set up a field goal attempt.
So David Sully will come on for Saskatchewan. Last week was 3 for 3 in the Hardy Cup is Sully. Very good kicker. Sully kicks up, and the kick is good. So Saskatchewan gets on the board, 3-0. As the Saskatchewan Huskies lead it, we'll step aside. You're watching the 2022 Uteck
Bowl 3-0 Huskies with 5:21 to go in the opening quarter. Had a chance to talk to some of the personnel from the Huskies prior to the game, and I asked how their trip in was, and they said, oh, it was really good. We did have a 6-hour delay in the airport in Toronto, but we dealt with that. And in terms of where they stayed, they're staying at a hotel in Stellarton, so they had about a 45-minute trip to get to St. Avex here today. But the one thing they all said was, we love the weather, guys.
Thanks, Scott. As they take the lead on a David Sully field goal. Mannion trying to open it up, and he'll go deep to Kareem, but good coverage there by the Huskies.
Okay, I like this play call. What they're trying to do here is loosen up, maybe catch them flat-footed right off the bat. I would have loved to have seen it even in the first set of downs. But it wasn't a really well-thrown ball. And, you know, you get these big boys coming up front, the importance of the game, and it just rushed that pass a little bit.
And tried to attack the junior from Ottawa, Catley Joseph. Canada West All-Stars Joseph. 2 interceptions on the season. They'll test him again, and Joseph is there. He knocks that away. Intended receiver in Harrington.
Catley Joseph does a great job on this. Breaks down the protection a little bit, but it's there enough to make this, and gets it in his hands. Just Joseph steps in with a hand, and there's his reaction. Incomplete.
So a quick 2 and out. That'll force the punting team onto the field for St. Avex, as Hadley will kick. Vavra deep for the Huskies. All kinds of time for Hadley. Vavra cleans catch here. Vavra, he'll slip a tackle, gain of 5. And we'll step aside once again. Stay with us. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl here on lead at 3-0 on a David Sully field goal. And they'll scrimmage for their 3rd possession of the afternoon. Mason Nye is starting to open things up. 8 for 7, 43 yards. Here's Frank now. Frank ripping off another huge run, and he's brought down from behind by Fetchin. So that running game starting to open things up for the Huskies.
You could see it coming. They had done a lot of work underneath on passing, but these teams are both big-time rushing teams, and here we see it right now, moving it up. Good blocking on the line. Riker Frank.
And the big one, the Vanier Cup next weekend here on CBC. The Canada Life Vanier Cup on CBC. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the Mitchell Bowl. That'll go this afternoon in London, Ontario. University of Western Ontario Mustangs taking on the Laval Rouge et Or. First down here. Aaron, snap. Frank's got to pick it up. He's in trouble, and he'll just go down as that was a bad snap exchange between Nias and his center.
Well, it's a little bit more on Nias than his center. Watch, he doesn't really, watch his hands right there. He's got a great opportunity. Now remember, it's cold. Yeah, no, it's not below zero, but he might have taken his hands off it just a little bit. When he hit his hands, he didn't have the feeling. So fortunate they lose about 10 yards, making it a 2nd and 20, but they keep recovering their own fumbles, so they're very fortunate that way.
That's number 3 on the afternoon for the Huskies. Nice. He'll drop back. Screen pass to Frank, and all kinds of blocking in front of him. Frank is wrapped up and brought down. Good tackle by Turnsick, as Jay Tursick able to make that tackle, the junior from North Bay, Ontario.
Well, I like the play because you're taking advantage that you know X is going to be aggressive with all the yards to go, and that you have to throw, so they get people. You set up the screen. Good looking play. Straight up screen. I'd like to see more screens and draws today.
Unfortunate snap there on that drive. Snuffs out any positive for the Huskies. Sully back on the punt. Harrington back deep for the X-Men. He'll let it bounce. He'll pick it up. And he's quickly wrapped up and brought down. Great coverage. So St. Vex will have the ball when we come back. St. Vex with the ball after that punt by Sully. Good tackle and coverage by Logan Bitts. As Fanion will bring out the X-Men, trailing 3-0. Bussey in the backfield. Pitch out to Bussey to the right. And Bussey is quickly wrapped up by that big front by the Huskies.
Well, big front. They went to a 3. They walked the linebacker up to bug the line of scrimmage, and then he came, so it's a semi-4. But here you see the blocking, but the white jerseys are the ones that are keeping it upfield on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. So right now, going to have quick openers. Going laterally along the line of scrimmage is just going to give the defense time. So quick openers would be the way to go with Malcolm Bussey.
No gain on that pitch to Bussey. 2nd and long for the X-Men. Fanion over the middle, and it's caught. Quickly wrapped up, but that's first down yardage. Outstanding coverage there, but good catch. And let's check in to Scott down on the sidelines.
Thanks, Vince. On that last Huskies offensive possession, the offensive line for the St. Vex X-Men all gathered together on the bench, huddled very closely together, and talking in detail about what the Huskies were doing offensively and what adjustments they would have to make. So something to keep an eye on here on this offensive possession, guys.
Play action to Bussey, and another catch, and that's an outstanding catch there by number 7, Devon Blackwood, his first catch on the afternoon. Blackwood was good last weekend, John. 3 catches for 87 yards in the Loney Bowl.
Well, what I like about this is he's the trailer. You see how he has to, it's a little hard, he has to throw backside, because Blackwood's coming backside, almost trailing the play. So really aggressive up front by the Huskies, and the linebackers left Blackwood open as he trailed backside on a straight or a slow run.
His Fane again looking to throw. Got Ross, and Ross picks up another first down. He's banged down by Joseph, but Ross able to fight through the contact and pick up a gain of 12, and that'll move the chains once again.
Well, the zone got cleared by number 88 doing the work, Zachary Karim, and he is a favorite receiver as well, but he cleared the zone. They came underneath the pattern, and right now with both teams, I really like the plays and what they're taking advantage of.
Last play of the quarter here. 12-yard gain by Ross. His 3rd catch of the game. Play action, Fanion going deep. Had a man, and that's just off the fingertips as Hood unable to pull it in. The first quarter in the books here at St. Vex Stadium. The Huskies lead at 3-0. We'll be back. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl here on CBC. Welcome back to St. Vex Stadium. The Huskies leading it here in the Uteck Bowl, 3-0 over the X-Men. And it was an ebb and flow type of first half, a feeling out kind of thing here, John, as both of these teams not familiar with each other, playing in separate conferences.
And both teams were fortunate in some ways of not losing turnovers for Saskatchewan. St. Vex getting some chances to score early.
Fanion drops back. He's flushed out. Finian, and he bangs into Joseph and knocks him down. What a run there by Silas Finian, the sophomore from Bonnyville, Ontario.
It's always extremely difficult to account for the quarterback, especially if you're bringing somebody for heat. But here he does what he has to do, and on the day, Silas Finian has good feet, and he may have to bail the offense out a number of times. He did it late in the Mount Allison game after he had taken a foolish penalty, and he called his own number 3 times and made it work.
Finian picks up first down yardage. He'll hand it off to Bussey. Bussey able to get loose there on the first time in the afternoon. That's a good carry for Bussey. Third carry for 15 yards for Bussey.
It's a great blocking out there. You see number 60 get out, kick his block out. That allows Bussey to turn it up inside. So right now, what's important about this drive, St. FX has to get some points. It'll be a big deflator if they do not. But that young man right there, quite capable.
We talked about Silas Finian. He can run 39 carries to 233 yards on the season. Bussey again, and he is quickly wrapped up and brought down. Outstanding play there in the backfield.
Yeah, Novak, Lane Novak moved that. You see him number 48 there. He moved quick. Busted the line of scrimmage before anything happened. That's always, it was either a missed tackle or they didn't expect him to come.
Yes, Lane Novak, the sophomore from White City, Saskatchewan. 58 tackles and a sack on the season. And that'll bring up third down and short. And the X-Men will gamble here. Finian under center. And it looks like he got the necessary yards. Good push up front.
I would like to see all teams have that short yardage team, as we saw Saskatchewan do it, and a number of teams. They take a lot of pride in this in practice, but on this one here, St. FX picked it up. Finian does a great job. I believe he slips to his right, no, left. There you get a little bit more push.
Yeah, he's got some help there from Ross and Bussey. So a fresh set of downs. St. FX threatened here in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the Huskies 23. Finian looking to throw again. Down the right side. Pass is caught. So Silas Finian, able to find Kareem on and it looks like it may be coming back. We got a hold here, the preliminary call by Greg McLean. And let's take a look, John.
You could see it as clear as day, the holding, the arm over the shoulders, down across the chest, and watch it right there, number 68. See the hold right there, gets him turned. Tough one. That was Will Chapman.
So Zachary Kareem able to beat Joseph, and that's not an easy task, but a hold will nullify that touchdown. It'll be 1st and 20 now for St. FX. Chapman and McConville, both AUS All-Stars. Finian, and the pass is dropped by Ross. Flag on the play. We might have illegal contact here as it's called way down the field here. And let's see what the call is.
Well, regardless of the penalty, St. FX's receivers have to start catching. That's the 3rd or 4th ball we've seen drop. In a game of this magnitude, no excuse. You've got to catch that football. We're waiting here for the call.
So it's actually on St. FX. It's pass interference on the X-Men. So things going from good to worse on this drive for the X-Men.
Had the positives going, and then the holding penalty really hurt them. That took the touchdown, so it's brought back. And now we're waiting. It looks like a 15-yarder, waiting for the call.
Forward pass interference. 88 St. FX. 15-yard penalty. Premier say.
So that's the difference in Canadian college football as opposed to you watch pros, especially in America, where the ball goes where the infraction took place. Here it's 15 yards.
So 1st and 30 for the X-Men, still in Husky territory. play fake. Here's Fanion. He'll get outside and he'll pick up some good yardage here on first down and try to get it within a good area for maybe possibly a field goal attempt.
Yeah, watch number 7. This is going to be important here in a second. So Fanion's outside. Watch number 7. Where is he? There he is, right there. See what he does? He has to do that because you cannot come back to pick someone off. And so what he did was interfere, which is completely legal as a block, but he didn't try and smoke him and obliterate him, which would have brought a flag.
Fanion picking up yardage with his legs. He'll drop back the pass. Good block there by tossing it back to his hood. He'll break a tackle. Almost gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll be 3rd down and 12 as the field goal team will come onto the field.
Uteck does a great job here. Good block right there. A saving block by Malcolm Bussey. And here yak yards, which are in a minimum here. Good job.
So a 32-yard field goal attempt for Ben Hadley. He missed the first one. Tried to tie this one up. Kicks up, and the kick is good. So Ben Hadley, he'll tie it up here. We're tied at 3 apiece. Stay with us. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl. Welcome back to St. X Stadium. A good look at the Saskatchewan bench. Here's head coach Scott Flory. Tied up here in the second quarter with 10:40 and rolling. Nyas dropping back. And Nyas will throw it to nobody, gets it back to the line of scrimmage and try to set up a screen there, John. But a good drive by Santa Vex as they were able to get that field goal. And let's go down field level to Scott Squire. Scotty?
Thanks a lot, Vince. And it was interesting on that last possession when they were driving. Quarterback for the Huskies, Mason Nyas, so intense on the sideline. When he was watching, he had a football tucked tightly under his left arm. When he knew that it was get close to it, Huskies coming back out on offense, he started warming up, whipping the ball back and forth, getting the arm warm, and telling the offense to let's go. Lots of intensity down here field level on the Husky sideline, gents.
Thanks for that, Scott. Quick 2-0 for the Huskies. Nice, a little high on that attempt for Iverson. So Santa Vex, their defense gets off the field, and the punt team comes on for the Huskies.
X is starting to pick up. They're starting to feed off of this. We expected to see a stronger effort out of Saskatchewan early especially. So St. X right now doing a great job.
Sully gets the punt off. Harrington catches it clean. He'll step out of bounds and they'll scrimmage in their own territory. And here's the road to the Vanier Cup. As you can see, John, lots of names on there, but there's only 4. Uteck Bowl and the Mitchell will go later this afternoon as the Rouge et Or and Western will get it on in London, Ontario. And you can see here Saskatchewan Huskies and the Santa Vex X-Men. So it's going to be interesting. We've got a good game here with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter, tied up at 3 apiece. So Fanion will bring on the X-Men. They'll scrimmage from their own 44-yard line. Pass is out wide as Joseph is there. Pass a little behind Kareem. And that'll be second down and 10.
Kareem was there. It's unfortunate. He has to reach back. You should be throwing to the outside shoulder, not the inside shoulder, because that's where coverage is as well. But unfortunate, again, unable to make the play work. Had some difficulty on receptions, and now the throw was off a little bit.
See the defensive coordinator for Santa Vex, Dave Van der Heuvel, in his 5th season as the defensive coordinator. Fanion, and that's slapped down. Good hand there at the line by Parks. Charlie Parks able to get a hand up and knock it down.
I love this. If you can't get to him, flap it down. Right now he gets it up, and he's a big Parks, big, tall man. And so he takes away that passing lane completely. And that's a real good lesson for young high school football players. You're not always going to get to the quarterback, and if you can't get to him, get the hands up.
3rd down kicking situation here. Yes, Charlie Parks, true freshman from Regina. Kubongo with his first punt, and Kubongo is quickly wrapped up. Outstanding coverage there by St. FX as Kubongo couldn't get any airspace.
Coach Daly would love that. The special teams coach Jim Daly for St. FX. Last week his team really picked it up with returns for touchdowns against Mount Allison. Here you see some great downfield in your lane, gang tackling, and there's some hitting going on out there, folks.
So first down for the Huskies. Tied up at 3 apiece. They'll scrimmage in their own end from the 27-yard line. Kubongo in the backfield now. Flick to Perry, and Perry is banged down as Fenton again with the tackle.
Get some help up there, Fenton does. Josh Connors quick, because right now he's got it in open space here. He's trying to pick his lane, looking for his blockers to get on. And then you see he has to cut it back inside because containment is made by Bentley on the outside. A good team tackling, as we mentioned a couple of seconds ago, and they did it again. So this St. FX team, defense in particular, is picking up the pace of their play.
So Daniel Perry shaken up on the play, the fourth-year senior from Calgary, Canada West All-Star. Perry, 46 receptions, 652 yards, and 2 TDs as he'll make his way towards the Huskies bench area. And second down and 4. So Nias now. Kubongo still in there in the backfield. Out wide. Quick catch, and it's fumbled. Picked up, and St. FX has it.
Wow, what a play. I believe that's the 4th fumble, 3rd for sure. So they get over there, make the contact, pop the ball loose, and up with it comes Thomas Bentley.
So a turnover as momentum shifting for St. FX. We'll step aside. We'll be back. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl here on CBC. Pick up that fumble, a catch and a fumble by Jordan Rusnak. Had 1 reception last weekend in the Hardy Cup. It was a touchdown and his first. Fanion over the middle, and that was knocked away. So he's looking for a Hood, trying to go up top right out of that turnover is Silas Fanion.
He was, and he's in traffic, and he was very fortunate that it wasn't intercepted. Have a look right here. So defender, I believe that was number 28, Tanner Rybar, and I think Rybar did a great job. He could have picked that off.
Rybar with a sack and 2 interceptions on the season. Second down and long. Fanion over the middle again. This time it's got Hood. And Hood picks up first down yardage, a gain of about 16. And he was shut out last weekend in the Lonely Bowl.
He was, but, you know, Jack Oud right now, 3 catches for 36 yards, and he's really picking up. They found someone who's live and catch the ball because they've dropped a few. So right now, St. FX is really impressive.
Yes, Zach Hood, the Rookie of the Year from Thetford, Quebec. 33 receptions, 511 yards, and 3 TDs on the season. Fanion, he'll fire it out wide to Blackwood. He juggled it, and he's quickly wrapped up with his positive yardage. And it'll be in the red zone here now.
What I like about this play, and if you watch it, he's coming back towards the quarterback. So he runs his pattern. Now he's running back to the ball. Really difficult to defend, as you see Saskatchewan there. I believe it was number 21. Caden Miller having a tough time keeping it in front of him, but you run back towards your quarterback.
Fanion 8 of 14 for 94 yards. Here's Bussey, he's got some room. Bussey out wide, and he is brought down from behind. Outstanding tackle in space by Nick Weeb.
Going to be very close to a first down. He was just ready to bust it, but
Bussy 5 carries for 19 yards, starting to open up. Started a little slow here, John, but now that St. FX is settling in on offense, they're getting that necessary push up front.
So they're less than a yard short, but it's an interesting call here.
So deciding not to
going.
take the points, they are going for it. Third down gamble. Fanion goes under center. Big moment of the game here. He juggles the snap. Might have gotten it though. Let's see if he's got first down yardage.
He actually dropped it, I believe, and got the bounce. Both teams were doing it. That's the first time with St. FX, but I know that Saskatchewan's had 3 anyways, maybe 4, but I don't know whether the ball is slippery. But have a look at this angle here. So now we see the short yardage group, and they're hitting that low, and that's the thing, the Saskatchewan players staying down low. So they're going to have a measure here to see whether or not it's a first down.
Big moment in the game. St. FX driving, trying to push it across the goal line. First measurement of the afternoon. As you mentioned, John, Fane juggling that snap, dropped it, but it looks like that got first down yardage just by a foot of the football.
That's big, and that's their 8th first down. So right now, as I said, it just seemed that when Saskatchewan struggled midway through the first, X started picking it up.
You can see the story tells it all right there, that picture. Silas Fanion. First down and 10 on the 9-yard line of the Huskies. Into the end zone. And it's picked off. No, juggled. He had a great chance to turn the momentum. It was Finn Marcotte Pribb. He was outstanding last weekend in the Hardy Cup. He had a pick 6 and he had an opportunity to make a play, just couldn't haul it in.
I'll tell you why that happened. Why it happens is Blackwood stops his pattern and the ball gets overthrown. And have a look here. Don't know why, but he felt he was running out of room. Let's see if we can pick it up. Right here, he stopped his pattern. He's inside. The ball's overthrown because that's where Fanion thought he was going to be. And Universal Crew doing a great job on the cameras, really showing us what happened on that play. So, wow, they dodge a big one. St. FX, Silas Fanion right now, saying whatever that play was, he signaled or signed for it. Didn't work.
So, timeout on the field called by the X-Men. As you can see, head coach Gary Waterman and offensive coordinator Dave Van de Heuvel talking this one over with Fanion.
And it's the thing to do because that was disappointing. And what would be more is if they don't come up with a touchdown is what they really want here. So let's get it straight. Don't take your timeouts to the locker room. And here we see Silas Fanion jogging back in.
So just over 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter, tied up at 3 apiece. Couple field goals is all we got here. Over 2,000 tickets sold here at St. FX Stadium in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, and they are in for a good one, a treat in this first 2 quarters, John.
Definitely something that wasn't expected right off the bat, especially. But as I said, X is fed on their success, and right now are difficult to handle.
So second down and goal. Play action, Fanion trying to hit the corner. Parks chasing him from behind, and that's a good open field tackle by Ringland, the Canada West All-Star.
Well, it was a good fake, Vince. You picked it up, but I swore that Bussy had the ball. Have a look here. There's the fake, and I didn't see him pull it down, but he does, and there's that good pressure upfield. William Parks takes away that ability he has to turn it up right now, and he flushes him to the outside.
Look at that speed there by Charlie Ringland. 3 interceptions and a sack on the season. Ringland, impact player, playmaker, 3 interceptions in that win in the playoffs over Manitoba in the blizzard. So Hadley back on for the field goal. Kicks up, and a chip shot there for Ben Hadley. St. FX takes their first lead, 6-3. Stay with us. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl here on CBC.
Barry for the Huskies went off, took a bit of a shot to his right side. He went over onto the sideline, The athletic staff tended to him. His right side, just above the hip, had some bruising on it. It was patched up. They put a little pad on there, and he looks good to go for the rest of the game, guys.
Thanks for that, Scott. St. X leading this one 6-3. Good yardage on first down by Kabungo, who's taken over the running duties for the Huskies. A manageable second down coming up. Saskatchewan looking for a response. It's like a 17-yard field goal by Ben Hadley. Kabungo on the carry. Kabungo and back-to-back carries. He'll pick up first down yardage.
Definitely a good play. It was great play on the outside by Kabungo, and as we said, he's utility. Doesn't surprise me he came in. Frank had a couple of good runs, and then the offense needed to get lifted, so you bring in your utility man at that time.
Kabungo, the junior transfer from the Maine Black Bears, Calgary, Alberta, Canada West All-Star. 2 carries for 12 yards. Canada West All-Star in the special teams in the return game. Play action, nice. Time over the middle. Caught by Morin, and that's a first down. As Morin able to catch that one over the middle. Good looking throw by Nice.
It was on a string, and it got there in a hurry. So a nice pattern, well-run pattern. He hit the opening in the zone. The blocking is, whoa, a little bit scary there because it was a good blitz.
14-yard pickup for Caleb Morin. First down for the Huskies in the X-Men territory. Nice again, goes back to Morin, and he'll pick up about 5 yards there. Good tackle by Wilden in the open field.
Well, you can just tell that Saskatchewan's decided it's time to get going and do something here, and the play calling reflects that. And so they don't mind going to the air and their passing game. So good throw, good catch. That was number 80, Caleb Warren. Tap was made fairly quickly, but not before picking up about 7 yards.
Yes, this Husky offense starting to get some steam. Mason Nyes, outstanding year, over 3,000 yards in the air. Was Nyes. Kabungo up the middle, breaks a couple tackles. And Kabungo with positive yardage. He'll pick up a first down, and another run up the middle for Saskatchewan Huskies.
Yes, look at the blocking, because it's not a bad reaction by St. X, but there's too many white shirts between the ball carrier, and you can see him, he keeps his legs going. Good job.
That big offensive line starting to get the necessary push, averaging about 300 pounds. This is Saskatchewan Huskies front 5. Kabungo again. And Kabungo tripped up in the backfield and finally brought down. Struggles to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Trying to get the number ready. That was a great job. I don't know if that was, I think it might have been Hunter Musso. But wow, he's on it real quick because they pulled backside, guard and tackle, brought them over almost in a counter situation and picked up only 2 yards.
Second down and long here. As David Suley getting warmed up on the sidelines for the Huskies. Flag on the play. Kabungo in the flats, and he's brought down quickly there.
Well, this will be interesting to see where this penalty flag leads because there was early movement. See if you can pick it up. Just don't know if it was Saskatchewan. We'll wait to see. It's Greg McLean going to give us the call.
It looks like it might be offside, John, and it is on the X-Men. So a good play defensively for St. X. It'll be 2nd and 4. A manageable 2nd and 4 here for the Huskies. A continuance, so a mistake in the front 4 for St. X may cost them.
Well, you have to see the ball snap, not listen for it, because I could see in my vision there was movement somewhere. Didn't know whether it came because of the offense or just what it was the defense.
Tight end in the game there for the Huskies. Here's Kabungo. He's got space to the out wide. Kabungo. He'll get it down to the 4-yard line. Outstanding run there. Excuse me, to 3 as Ted Kabongo on his best run. They brought in that tight end, and it was paid up dividends for the Huskies.
Big time. Musso has an opportunity, but fails to make the tackle.
So first down and goal from the St. FX 3.
Well, it was interesting. It is interesting now to see one of the top picks that we spotlighted doing what he does so well, Ted Kabongo.
3 phases is this all-star from the Canada West. Kabongo again trying to push it over the goal line, and it's fumbled. Ball's loose, and St. FX is on it. Let's see. No whistle there as Kabongo coughs it up.
Wow, now they're saying he's down, but Greg McLean is in there talking and having the officials get together. 2 things. It appeared to me that it took long to blow the whistle, and if it in fact came, but let's have a look and see if he's down or up. He's certainly up. So I can't see him being called down. Whether they call forward progress stop, we'll have to wait. But what a huge play. We've seen St. FX cough the ball up. But this would be the 5th time. You know, if they haven't got anything that they can see, they've got to play what they got.
And it's their ball as the officiating crew, a split crew from the Canada West and the AUS. So we'll step aside. St. FX still leading at 6-3. Stay with us. You're watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl here on CBC. Huge turn of events with 1:29 remaining here in the second. A Ted Kabongo fumble into the end zone will give St. FX possession on their own 20-yard line. So Kabongo with the best running play of the day prior to that fumble swings the momentum over to St. FX. Here's Bussey. Tries to break a tackle. Good gain for 5 as he's brought down. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for St. FX.
So big plays here. Now Bussey is coming close to, if he breaks this tackle, he's going quite a bit further right now. So they're getting people on the Saskatchewan defenders. He just needs to get that one more break. So just an astounding turn of events with the ball being turned over once again and Saskatchewan being denied.
2nd down and 5. Harrington in motion. Bussey again down the right side. And Bussey may be short to line the gain.
I don't think they'd risk a 3rd even if it was short, but he's just, as I said, just coming up a little bit shy. They're getting hands on him. So have a look here. And there he is again, William Parks, who's doing a big-time job. So they are about a yard short, and they're going for it. This is amazing.
Big moment again, Daniel. And he'll lean, and I think he got it, John. Let's take a look and see where they spot the ball.
He stepped to the right, which when I saw him, whoa.
And he got the first down.
Yep.
So Gary Waterman not leaving anything out there on the field, going for it in his own end.
Wow, huge. That's a huge risk. You know, Silas Fignan, experienced.
There's Gary Waterman.
Now known as the Riverboat Gambler.
Under a minute to go in the first half as that's airmailed to Ross.
And, you know, it's not quite the flats. He was, I think, between the numbers. But when you throw out to the flat area, you don't want to be late and you don't want to be high.
Silas Fignan, 8 of 15 for 98 yards. 37.5 remaining in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for the X-Men. Harrington in motion. Fignan, he'll just throw it away in the direction of Harrington. Good decision by Silas, not forcing one downfield.
Well, there was great pressure coming from the outside, and it was coming to him quickly, so he decided to get outside the tackle box, make that throw over the head of his receiver out of bounds.
Great defensive call there by the defensive coordinator, Warren Muzinka. And Muzinka, no stranger to Husky country. Arguably one of the best defensive players all time to suit up for the green and white. So Hadley on for the punt. Vavra deep to receive for the Huskies. Clean catch by Vavra. And good yardage, gain about 15 on that return, and that'll set up some good yardage for Mason Nias.
Could use some hang time on those punts.
And the Canada Life Vanier Cup on CC. This is why they are playing this game and the following in the Mitchell Bowl later this afternoon in London, Ontario. It will be played in London, Ontario on the campus of the University of Western Ontario next weekend. So the Huskies trailing 6-3. Nias passes, tips, and Morin can't come up with it. And it looks like Fenton again gets a hand on it.
The throw is short at his feet. He tries to go. Right here. Hands up, that's a good job. You start to wonder whether their inabilities are starting to bother them in their play calling and also in what they would like to do. So we'll see. They should have had a touchdown. They fumbled it. We'll see if they can get back on board here.
2nd and 10. Mason Nias, 9 of 15 for 89 yards. Huge play coming up for the Huskies. All kinds of time. He'll go out to the left, and the pass is caught by Everett Iverson, and that's first down yardage.
Well, with only 3 men coming, only 3 rushers, you can afford as a defense to tighten up that zone. The cushions can't be that big. You got help in back of you, so you know there's a difference between when you should give some cushion, when you should take it away.
So 16-yard reception by Daniel Perry, who's come back into the game. Here's Nias now, all kinds of time. He's flushed out to the left, gets to the line, pulls it down. Outstanding catch there by Rusnak as he stares that out of the sky.
Well, he was fortunate he got so much time because it was a rush on and it was close to holding, because I see the official drop his hand towards his flag, but it gets away. He got the pass away. The reception was made. He picks up the first down. Great field awareness going on out there.
Absolutely. Outstanding play there by Mason Nias as he able to find Jordan Rusnak. His second reception, the first one, he fumbled it away. Nias with all kinds of time again, steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, and it might have been tipped there by Blackett.
Well, right now, X has got to do a better job up front. If you're going to put the men into a rush situation, then they have to use better skills to get some pressure on, because he had all day to sit back there, Mason Nias, and that's just too long.
So Mason Nias, John, struggles to get back to the sidelines, appears to be limping, and that's not good for Saskatchewan if you have Mason Nias limping towards the sidelines. Scott Flory's got to be worried, but an opportunity here to tie it up at the end of the half for David Soley. 36-yard field goal attempt. It's up, and Soley puts it through. Ice water in his veins, right at the gun. So Soley ties it up at 6 apiece. 2 quarters to the books, John. And the Huskies and the X-Men, they are putting on a show this afternoon here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. It's been back and forth in a tightly.
What's amazed me is Saskatchewan's inability to hold on to the ball. We had talked about ball security, and they're having some major problems right now.
Let's go downstairs to Scott standing by with Gary Waterman.
Thanks a lot, Vince. Coach, statistically, that was as close as you can get in that first half. 6-6 after the first half. Time of possession, almost identical. Total yards, almost identical. For your side, what did you like most?
Well, I like that we're competing. I mean, we talked about it all season, getting back to the game, hopefully, and competing like heck, and I think the boys are competing out there, so I like that part of it.
Our crew up in the booth, Coach John McNeil and Vince Williams, have dubbed you the Riverboat Gambler. 3 for 3 on third downs. What's making you go for these short yardage opportunities?
Well, I mean, they're a good football team and a great offense, and so possession is really important. And the more possessions they get, the more dangerous they get. So if we have an opportunity and a chance where we think we can make it, we're gonna go for it.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Coach Garrett. On his side, tied with the Saskatchewan Huskies, 6-6 after one half. You're watching the Uteck. Welcome back to the Uteck Bowl. At the half, the Saskatchewan Huskies and the St. FX X-Men tied 6-6. Very pleased to be joined by the Chief Executive Officer of U Sports. This is Pierre Arsenault. Pierre, your thoughts on the game through one half?
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining game, Scott, and great. I mean, 2 evenly matched teams that both came in with really impressive seasons and accomplishments so far. And you know, it's what we expect this time of year. Tight, every yard is tough, and this kind of weather, and the teams have come to play, and it's been entertaining.
You and I were talking just before we came on about the renovations here at St. FX Stadium. The old wooden bleachers gone, a much nicer arrangement now. And how nice is it to see a capacity crowd, including a good contingent of Huskies fans from Saskatchewan?
Yeah, great crowd today, and you're right. I mean, St. FX always does a good job hosting events, and the work they've done here in the field has been really impressive. And the stadium it's really shows well on events like this, and it's so good to see the traveling fans from Saskatchewan also. And I mean, that's all the work that we put into telling the story of student athletes across the country is to build energy like this, and this is what you want is fans who are committed and excited and want to follow their teams and go. And so when you see it come to life on big days like this, it's a lot of fun.
And you certainly know the stories of student athletes, in particular in Atlantic University sport. Prior to your role now, you were the athletic director with the Mount Allison Mounties. What does it mean to you to have St. FX hosting this Uteck Bowl and to see this kind of reaction to the game?
Yeah, listen, we're very proud in Atlantic Canada of the sport programs, and I had the good fortune of being in the AUS family for 13 years, and really have wonderful memories, and yeah, so it's when you have events here, it's a big deal in these communities. You know, community size of Antigonish, everybody's excited. You could feel the energy in the community this morning and last night when you're in town, and you know, much like communities all across the country where it's a big deal in Saskatchewan where they wake up on game day, and so it's cool. University towns like this, it really brings a little bit of extra.
And final thing for you, it was interesting speaking with some Saskatchewan fans before. Well, we're going to have to go. We're out of time. I'll ask you about that afterwards.
As we head to Antigonish, Nova Scotia, we watch as the St. FX X-Men look to head to their third Vanier Cup in program history. Although hosting the Uteck Bowl, some have said they are the underdog going into the matchup against the Saskatchewan Huskies. The X-Men last appeared in the Vanier Cup in 1996, and if there's any man from the East Coast that knows how to get there, it would be head coach Gary Waterman, who happened to play for the 1996 edition of the X-Men. St. FX finished the 2022 season in the upper tier of offense in U Sports. The team is ranked 11th in passing and 8th in rushing, and star running back Malcolm Bussey looks to make his mark in the U Sports semifinal. Bussey was 4th in U Sports in yards per game rushing and added 11 touchdowns on the campaign. If Bussey can get going, the X-Men have a good chance at breaking their 26-year Vanier Cup drought. The Saskatchewan Huskies are a different story. They made it to the Promised Land just a year ago, but fell one score shy of toppling the Western Mustangs. Saskatchewan knows how to get there, but they need to get past St. FX to do so. Head coach Scott Flory left the Montreal Alouettes to return to his alma mater of Saskatchewan and took over as head coach in 2017. It was a program that had not won a playoff game in 9 years and has since compiled 3 postseason victories in 3 seasons. The Huskies are led by stud quarterback Mason Nias, who leads U Sports in passing with 244 yards per game and finished second with 18 touchdown tosses. Nias looks to bring his team back to the Vanier Cup and rewrite history. When it comes to defense, this weekend's bowl games have the 4 best teams in Canada. Saskatchewan is ranked 4th, giving up only 14.9 points per game. Saskatchewan's run defense is their key to success. They allowed only 113.6 yards on the ground each game, and if they limit Bussey, they'll force St. FX to throw the ball. St. FX defense this year was impeccable. They finished first in points against by a significant margin, allowing only 10.4 points per game in AUS competition. The defense recorded 24 turnovers on interception and fumbles, while also pressuring the quarterback, recording 27 sacks on the campaign. This defense could be a big problem for Nias and the Huskies if they aren't given enough time to throw the ball. The good thing, though, their coach was an offensive lineman. The second half kicks off shortly. One team will go home, the other will hoist the Uteck Bowl and punch their ticket to the 2022 Canada Life Vanier Cup, where they look to write their name in history.
This is Saskatchewan at 56 for St. FX, but both of them I think are going to bust out in this second half. 116 passing to 89, very, very close. There's a big one, 2 turnovers. University of Saskatchewan, one may cost them a touchdown, and another time a long drive. And so that really, for me, is the big difference in that whole picture we're looking at, those 2 turnovers. And then in my mind also is the number of balls that they dropped. They had trouble with it, holding onto it, and St. FX had a number of times that they dropped passes. So both teams having a little problem at times.
And you look at that third down efficiency, 100%, 3 for 3 for St. FX, the Riverboat Gambler, and Gary Waterman. So let's go downstairs to Scott Squires. He's got the head coach, Scott Flory, of the Saskatchewan Huskies.
Thanks a lot, guys. Coach, that first half was as tight as you can get. What was your message to your team at the half, and what adjustments are you going to make?
Yeah, we're just making too many mistakes out there. That's the bottom line. That's what it is. I mean, playing physical, we just got to hold on to football and quit turning the ball over.
I know I saw a couple of your offensive guys talking about staying together, be a good teammate. What does that mean to this side?
Yeah, no, we'll be fine. Stick to the game plan, and it'll be a good second half.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck second half. Coach Scott Flory, there you go. Second half coming up. Back up to the booth, guys.
Thanks for this, Scott. As you see, you talked about those mistakes there, John, and they were costly for the Saskatchewan Huskies in sustaining drives, and one was right at the goal line. Kabongo had a great run to get it there, just couldn't hold on to it as he tried to go over the goal line. The second half, going to be a little bit of a different story. You could just see the expression on head coach Scott Flory's face. He was not happy. He definitely read that riot act in the halftime break.
I think you're right, and I think we're going to see both teams emphasize the run. I think Malcolm Bussey is a step or two away from breaking a couple. We saw that Huskies are doing it already. They're just missing and out of sync, breaking up big plays. So I look for running and interspersed in their passes to keep drives going. I'd like to see Silas Fanian for St. FX run a few more times. I'd like to see Saskatchewan go back to Kabongo. Those things happen. We're in for a lot more exciting time than we've had already.
So St. FX won the toss. They defer to the second half, and they will kick off. So Saskatchewan will get an opportunity to start with the football here in the third.
It's an interesting decision. You and I have talked about this. What would you do? What would you do? But obviously they want to try and get field possession advantage anyway.
As Hadley will kick it off, Kabongo at the 10-yard line. And Kabongo is wrapped up quickly. Outstanding play there.
Josh Connors, just a fantastic job.
And a big game coming up next weekend in London, Ontario. The Canada Life Vanier Cup here on CBC. 1 p.m. kickoff as both of these teams vying for an opportunity. St. FX, 26 years. The last time they were at the Vanier Cup. Saskatchewan looking for back-to-back trips. As Nias will bring out the Huskies. Frank in the backfield. Frank with the carry up the middle, limited gain, and he'll fall down for about a gain of 2. Fedgen again in the middle of things for St. FX.
Well, it was interesting that St. FX chose to kick off. Field position is one thing. Right now, the only way that Saskatchewan can answer is have a really good drive. They start out with the run, pick up good yardage. So now it's just 4 or 5. Now it's an underneath pass, or have a look, and I'm just checking out whether.
2nd and 6. Here's Nias. Fires. Pass is caught. Down quickly there. Outstanding play there, and Nias again able to find that hole in the St. FX
Yeah,
defense.
sorry to leave you hanging. I was just checking out to see as he started to move whether he was having a problem, but he's not showing any of the effects that from the first half when he was limping going off the field. So right now they're moving the ball, combination of run and pass.
15 for 20 for 126 yards for Nias, picking up where he left off at the end of the second quarter. Again, Morin. And Morin close to first down yardage. He's pointing in that direction. And it looks like he's a little short.
Good looking play. Have another look at it. Nice getting the ball out there on a string.
Fourth reception for Morin for 35 yards.
I would not want to be the next Saskatchewan player to drop a ball or fumble the ball. They'll be sitting on the pines for sure. Right now they're looking good starting out this quarter, and this is the answer to X kicking off.
Riker up the middle, rips off a big one. Riker in the open field, and he's brought down. A huge gain there for Riker.
Well, he gets hit soon after crossing the line, but keeps his balance, makes his move to the open space. Have a look here.
So Riker Frank with a huge gain
right
up
there
front.
He gets hit, but he makes the move. Now he makes it to the outside. Run to daylight. Good looking job by Riker.
6 carries for 65 yards for Riker Frank. Huskies in St. FX territory. Play action. Looks for Perry, and that's an incomplete pass. Good flow there defensively for St. FX. That'll bring up second down and long.
Yeah, Alex Fetchin there once again, and for another step and a half. He might have had an interception, but this is going along. They go for the safe pass underneath, but good coverage there by Fetchin.
So second down and long. Huskies on the St. FX 42. Play action, nice, rolls out to the right. Hits a man, and that's caught underneath. Minimal gain there.
It's going to be interesting to see what they decide because they're going to be short of first down yardage. Probably by 3, maybe 4 yards. See if they're going to settle for a field goal. Go for it. But looks like they're lining up to go on a 3rd and 4.
So a huge moment early here in the third. The Huskies gambling 3rd and 4. Nice, empty backfield. And that is caught by Favre, and he'll pick up the first down.
A little crossing pattern that comes late, so the backers have all dropped to their depth, 8 or 9 yards. Have a look. Now he comes in underneath in front of the backers, and there you had a look at number 72 for X Blackett, trying to get up fast. So a good-looking play.
So Favre, 3 receptions for 27 yards. First down for the Huskies, knocking on the door. Play action, swung out. And that's a great play there, and it looks like first down yardage for the Huskies on that swing out pass.
Well, great job of stock blocking out there. We'll get a number for you on the replay, but that's the wide receiver taking on the defensive back. Have a look here. Now, you can see the turn block right there, the stock block, and that's number 89, and he does a great job. Everett Iverson.
Yes, Cody Uteck with his first reception. Nice, 19 for 25, perfect on this drive. Frank, he's banged down inside the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Straight handoff, good job by Frank. Up front, blocks almost complete, not quite.
So that'll set up a 2nd down and 4 for the Huskies. Riker Frank carrying the mail here in the 3rd. 7 carries for 69 yards for Riker. That leads everybody for carries as well as yardage. Watson, he'll hand it off to Frank. Outstanding tackle in the hole there by St. Yves.
And that's number 21 for St. Yves, Nathan Cayute, who made that tackle at an opportune time.
Cayute with a huge tackle, John. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal, and the Huskies will go for it. It's Cayute, a sophomore from Strathmore, Alberta. Ethan Watson in there for the Huskies. Frank again will try, and this time he'll get it over the line. Touchdown, Huskies, and they'll take the lead.
Well, a great looking play because he got the blocking up front. St. Yves unable to fill the gap. Have a look. And the big block there, 64. There's 178. Another one right there in behind 67. So all of those excellent blocks. So they came out with the intent and they got the job done. They put a touchdown on the board.
11 plays for 89 yards, 6 minutes and 7 seconds to open up the 3rd quarter as this Huskies team take the lead on a Riker Frank touchdown. Solely on for the extra point. Kicks up and it's good. So that's the response that Saskatchewan takes the lead, and we'll go to a commercial. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Uteck Bowl, 13-6 here early in the 3rd quarter. And just after the Huskies scored that touchdown, guys, they celebrated for a minute and then immediately switched to thinking defense, saying let's go D. They know how important it is to get a shutdown here of the X offense. So we'll see what the D does, and of course what the St. Yves offense has to offer as well. First touchdown of the game on the board. We'll see what X has to offer, guys.
Thanks, Scott. As Sully will kick off. It's Harrington and Hood deep for the X-Men. Here's Harrington. Harrington's got some space, and he's brought down just short of the 30-yard line alongside John McLean, Vince Williams on hand.
Scott is correct. This needs to be answered, and they need to answer it now. The better they can do here, barring getting a touchdown, which would be great, field goal would be good. Barring that, they have to take this for a ride of 4 or 5 first downs.
So 8:40 and counting for St. Yves, looking for a response after that Riker Frank touchdown. Banyan will go wide to Kareem. He's quickly wrapped up and pushed out of bounds by Joseph. And that's been a battle all afternoon long between Kareem and Joseph.
Well, a good reception, good pickup for yardage, makes that 2nd down much easier. Good catch, moves up, manages to get 2 yards anyways after catch. So yeah, about a 2nd and 3.
Banyan. Here's Bussey, and Bussey will be brought down, and looks like he got the line to gain. So he got tripped up, and he'll move the chains.
And they'll move the chains. Have a look here. This is what we were expecting from both teams. And Bussey, again, still just that 1 block away from taking it, but he picks up the 1st down and keeps this drive alive.
Bussey, 7 carries for 25 yards in the first half for an average of 3.6, longest 8 yards. Banyan, and that was almost picked up by Ringland. As he tried to jump that route, receiver in Ross.
You know, you can watch that now. Banyan was in his delivery, but if you start getting players jumping route, then receivers are going to have to make a double move.
First down differential, 16-10 in favor of the Canada West champions, the Huskies. St. Yves looking for the 1st down here, 2nd and long. Banyan rolls out to the right. And they'll try to find Blackwood. Great coverage there by Marcotte Cribb.
Don't know why they switched to go pass on 1st down, and then they come up with 2nd and a 10. That really allows the defense to do a lot more than if it's a 2nd and 5.
So Banyan trying to find his stride, throwing the football. Only 9 completions compared to 19 to Mason Nias.
So the question is, are we starting to see a move, a major move in momentum? This drive will tell us that.
Favre back deep for the Huskies. Good kick there by Hadley. Favre, couple yards, and he'll pick up a gain about 13. So we'll step aside. Third quarter continuing here at St. FX Stadium. Stay with us. 6:50 remaining here in the third. Their second opportunity on offense. The first one ended with the Riker Frank touchdown. Mason Nias has been outstanding early here in the second half for the Huskies. They'll start on their own 45. Here's Riker Frank. Breaks a tackle, tripped up, and that'll be a gain of about 7. So this running game starting to pick up some momentum for the Huskies.
Watch the trap. Watch the left side pull. Kick out. He's going in right behind him. So down block. Pull your backside. Kick the containment out. Turn it up. Pick up 7 yards.
Second down and 3 for the Huskies. Riker Frank, impact player here in the third. Play action, Nias. He'll swing it out. And a first down. Another outstanding play there called by Scott Flory. And they'll continue to move the chains are the Huskies.
Oh, so nice to have just 3 or 4 yards to pick up on second down. You get that by those successful first downs. So a little fake play action. Makes the yardage.
So Cody Uteck with another reception. That's his second on the game, and his second first down he picks up with that reception. Motion. Here's Daniel Perry. Perry out wide. And Perry, minimal gain. That's to pick up a 2. Let's check in with Scott Squires.
Thanks a lot, Vince. And just before this Huskies offensive possession, head coach Scott Flory came over and was very direct in his instructions to a couple of offensive linemen, Dayton Black and Austin Haas, being very specific about what he wanted them to do on certain play calls. And it's been interesting to watch that dynamic and to see those two players putting those words into action in this offensive possession. Vince?
Thanks for that, Scott. And they are Canada West All-Stars is Black and Haas. Haas, a sophomore from Saskatchewan. Black, a junior from Brandon, Manitoba.
We have an injured player, or St. FX player, near his bench, and that's number 22, Thomas Bentley. So that's the reason for the time.
And let's take a look at the road to the Vanier Cup, John. You can see in the left side of the bracket there, Saskatchewan depositing UBC in the Hardy Cup, their 21st championship. And then St. FX knocking off Mount Allison here last weekend in the Loney Bowl. And on the other side, later this afternoon, Western and Laval will tangle in London, Ontario for a berth in the Canada Life Vanier Cup next weekend. Second down, here's Nias. All kinds of time to throw. And a drop pass over the middle as he had first down yardage, and Favre couldn't pull it in.
Well, a 30 front, so they had 3 players up. Defensive linemen, no rush coming. They're dropping into coverage. That's difficult. That pass should have been caught. It's another one that they'll look back at later and say, you know, got to catch that ball, and they should have. Because right now, St. FX needed that stop more than anything.
So Soley will come on the kick. Harrington will drop back deep for St. FX. Soley will get it away, wide side of the field. Harrington will pick it up. And Harrington breaks a couple tackles. Harrington's loose. Harrington now in the open field, and he's brought down. And a saving tackle by David Soley.
Get me those tearaway jerseys.
So St. FX will have possession when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching the Uteck Bowl here on CBC. They'll have first down on their own 46-yard line after that 24-yard return by Ben Harrington. Binion fires out to the left. That's caught by Ross. Another reception there for Ross.
Well, I like the fact he took it up and threw that ball right away. He's been waiting around a couple of times. It didn't happen. But the pattern will run well. They're looking for that underneath 4 or 5 yards that we've been talking about, and they get it. Coverage is there.
So that's the 4th catch for Ross on the afternoon. Usually a blocking tight end or ultra back is Ross. Bussey on the carry. Bussey breaks a tackle and dives forward for first down yardage.
And he made that almost on his own. If he doesn't make that slice move and then lunge for it right there, they don't get it. You got to keep going back to Bussey a little more often.
Malcolm Bussey, the most outstanding player in the U.S., 9 carries for 35 yards. Average of 110 yards per carry on the season. 4th leading rusher in the country in percentages. There's Fanyon trying to go deep. He's got Kareem. And Kareem with a huge catch, and he'll step out of bounds as he got behind Joseph. And it'll be 1st and 10 on the Huskies' 19-yard line.
Well, have another look at it because he makes a great move to get it. Gets 1 foot in. I don't know if he bobbles it or not. This is going for a lot. Have a look. Good catch. Good catch.
Outstanding
Big
catch
play.
there.
X
Kareem,
answering the call.
34-yard gain. 1st and 10. The X-Men on the 19 of the Huskies. Trying to answer it. That Riker Frank touchdown. That's tipped at the line as Parks once again gets that big Paula. 3rd tip by the Huskies this afternoon.
Parks just doing a great job with that, and he had the receiver where he wanted. Have a look. And as we said before, if you can't make it, there it is.
Standing replay by our Universal crew here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. 2:40 to go in the 3rd. St. FX 2nd and 10. Fanyon flushed out. He's got room. Fanyon to the end zone. Touchdown, Silas Fanyon with the touchdown and the explosive play using his legs.
And tell me that he didn't want it, because when in those last 3 yards, it looked like he was going to be hit out of bounds, and he makes the move to the inside. And we saw it early. He would need to do this a few times to extend drives, help his team. Now watch right here. That looks like he's going to get taken out. He makes that step to the inside. Great play.
Outstanding decision by Silas Fanyon. Able to get into the end zone. 19-yard touchdown. The first of the afternoon for St. FX. Coming right into your living room screen. Extra points up and good. So St. FX responding. They tie it up at 13 apiece. Stay with us. You're watching the Uteck Bowl here on CBC. Welcome back to St. FX Stadium. Tied up at 13 apiece. 2:26 remaining here in the 3rd. 5 plays, 64-yard touchdown. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Silas Fanyon scoring his 2nd touchdown of the season. 19 yards. The first one was 19 yards in conference play.
Great crowd, loving this. Exciting game to do as well. Teams are answering the call. Stay in the game. This could go down to the final possession.
Kabongo back deep to receive. He'll catch it at his 15-yard line. Kabongo breaks a couple tackles, still fighting. And finally brought down just over the 35-yard line. And Saskatchewan will scrimmage at the 37-yard line. And let's take a look at Riker Frank. He's put in some heavy lifting this afternoon for the Huskies. You see Frank there, 10 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown, John. He has been huge in the running game.
Oh, and I love watching Kabongo too, but when Frank's running this way, he's getting it done.
Catch out of the backfield as well. Nias now setting up. He'll give it to the aforementioned Frank. Frank goes out wide, and that's snuffed out.
just a great job on the left corner, getting upfield. Here, he's just right now. He gets pushed out. Get off your block. He's doing a good job. Here it comes. Come up for support. Martin doing a good job.
Tackle there by Brandon Martin. The sophomore from Milford, Saskatchewan. Nias now. Second and long. All kinds of time. He'll throw it out to Frank, and a huge tackle in the open field. And the punting team will come onto the field.
Oh, that's Nathan Kayuk. Kayuk's had quite a game already. He gets up that quick. Yes, the reception is made, but that's it.
Kayuk, again, a sophomore from Strathmore, Alberta.
What the St. FX team does is they feed off of their positive play, and that's what's happening right now as well.
Solely on the kick. Harrington. Clean catch, and he is gobbled up quickly. Great coverage downfield, this time by Saskatchewan. And St. FX will come back out after scoring a touchdown on their previous possession.
Harrington was a major factor last week in the Loney Bowl, running back a kick for a touchdown, another for a long run. So here's Finian. Have a look at what he did.
Great awareness, John. You can see he flushed out. All the pressure came up in his face. And he's able to get into the end zone. Fanion, the sophomore from Bonnyville, Ontario. Play action. And Fanion is brought down by Parks, so it's standing pressure there. Parks with the sack on Fanion, and that's not easy to do. The big man, Parks, able to bring him down.
Showing good speed. He's doing the job for Saskatchewan. He's stepping up. So he speeds it up, moves to the outside. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Good-looking job. Puts them in a hole because they lost close to 10 yards.
Connor Delahaye not available this afternoon for Saskatchewan, and Parks comes in.
Like to see some screens somewhere. Take advantage of them. They're coming.
Second and long. Fanion airs it out. Double coverage, and it's caught by Hood. And Hood with an explosive play. We talked about the playmakers. Wow. As Hood able to come up with a huge catch. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, John, he was shut out last weekend as the Rookie of the Year for the AUS.
And have a look at it. This is just almost a desperation throw because he's going to be hit by Parks. He gets the ball away. Good coverage there, but you got to go get it. And Hood got it.
3 quarters in the books. We'll step aside. We'll be back. You're watching On the Move here. 1st and 10 in Husky territory on their 44-yard line after a standing catch at the end of the 3rd quarter by Hood. Screen play to Bussy. He's got all kinds of blocking in front of him, and Bussy appears to have first down yardage, and that's a first down.
Well, we were hoping we would get to that screen because they're coming up field big time. Parks, for example, right there on the outside. And this is one way to sting them when you get them upfield is to go with that screen. Buzzy does a good job. Pick up first down yardage.
Bussy, 10 carries for 44 yards on the afternoon. It's been tough sledding in the running game. As Fanion able to pull down the snap, that'll be an incomplete pass. And St. FX try to set up that screen play, the Hood.
Ringland gets his hand up, another one knocked down. So unfortunate. The high snap throws all of the timing off. Ringland gets up. He's not going to get there, so he puts the hand out and hits the ball. He tried to get to that play. I don't think that's a poor decision, but it was close. He had, Saskatchewan's just doing a great job. If I'm not going to get right in your face, I'm going to get my hands up to distract you or hit the ball.
Defensive coordinator Warren Mazika drawing up the safety blitz. And it's wrapped up and brought down. Sack on the play as the Huskies able to get there. Standing push up front.
That was Jonathan Leggett. And they got push on for sure. There you see Leggett, 8 to 95. great job.
2 sacks on the day for Saskatchewan. 10-yard losses for St. FX. That pushes them out of field goal range. Hadley on the kick. Favre deep in his own end zone. Hadley will aim for the corner coffin. Try to get it within inside the 20-yard line. Flag down on the play.
Well, I'd like to check that out. If that flag was no yards, I'm saying we got an official in a better position to make that call. He's calling no yards. If you're trying to get out of there, get out of there.
So let's go down to Scott Squires.
Thanks, Vince. And a tie game in the Uteck Bowl. Lots of football left to go. But right now, it's a tale of 2 benches. The Saskatchewan Huskies bench, fairly muted, having lots of little mini huddles, talking things over. On the X sideline, much different. All kinds of energy. Players bouncing around, high-fiving, slapping each other on the back, saying, let's go. But we'll see if that last defensive stand by the Huskies gets the energy level up on the Saskatchewan sideline. Vince?
Nia Snell will bring up the Huskies. Frank on the carry once again.
Did a good job. They closed down that corner. He cut it up inside, kept the feet moving.
Frank's 12th carry for 80 yards, a gain of 8 there. And as Scott Squires mentioned on the sideline, a tale of 2 sidelines, the momentum going back and forth here in the second half. Saskatchewan came into the game averaging over 30 points per game, and that has been a play where they come into games where they know that their offense is going to be outstanding. But St. FX, you got to give him credit this afternoon defensively. Frank wrapped up. Second down is short. Let's take a look.
Well, he got the first.
Got there.
I believe he got the first down, but got taken back after he got hit. Maybe not. Yep, they do give him the first down.
So Riker Frank able to move across the line to gain the 30-yard line.
Josh Connors got there. He just needed to be there a step sooner.
So you can see the St. FX sideline. First and 10 for the Huskies. Trips to the right for Nias. Nias will look that way. Morin. He makes the catch, and quickly the tackle's made by St. FX.
He gets his 5 yards that he wants. You know, they're facing a situation where throwing downtown, we saw X do it. The sun wasn't as bad as it is right now for Saskatchewan. But I think what they're doing is going for that 5 and 6, maybe 7 yards, which I like. And then your second down becomes so much easier. You can get a drive going.
Manageable down here for the Huskies. Tied up at 13 apiece. Just over 11 to go here in the fourth. Frank down the right side. Frank's got room. Still up on his feet, and he's brought down by Maston as he gets into St. FX territory.
Well, a great job of running by Frank. He just still does not go out of bounds, even after the hit. So he used the boundary as his friend to turn it up and picked up great yardage. It's going to be first down from St. FX 50-yard line.
So Riker Frank turning things up here in the second half. 14 carries for 101 yards. Over the century mark is Frank. Kabongo's in there now. Kabongo down the left side. Kabongo, and he'll extend forward. He might have the first down, but that's a good-looking run by Ted Kabongo.
Well, Kabongo wants it. You can tell as soon as he gets his hands on the ball, he's not settling for any less than keep it going as long as humanly possible. He does that, picks up the first down. So the combo running, Frank and Kabongo now is putting them in good position.
Kabongo will exit the game along with Weed for the Huskies. Kabongo, 7 carries, 59 yards, and a fumble, a costly one in the first half.
So X will now slip up into a 4-man line, get a backer, mug up in the line of scrimmage as well.
First and 10 from the 40-yard line of the X-Men. Here's Frank again, and he'll be banged down for about a gain of 5. And another manageable, and a late flag coming from the field judge position. Might be some late activity. Let's see what's on.
I hope Craig McLean picks up the flag we've not had. There we see a rough play, and that's against Saskatchewan after the play.
Appears to be a piling on, and that's a 15-yard penalty. So unnecessary roughness after the play. It'll be second down and about 20.
And that hurts. That hurts big time.
Scott Flory talked about making mistakes and the penalties with that interview at halftime with Scott Squires, and that's a big one here with just over 9 minutes remaining in the fourth.
Well, there's penalties you let go, but those you can't. Then things will get out of hand. So good call.
Kabongo back in there, the block. Nias, all kinds of time, down the middle. Look for Weeb, outstanding play there again defensively.
Josh Connors just kicking that ball.
Coming up huge as a sophomore from Hamilton, Ontario. So that'll force a punt for the Huskies. So just when things were looking good for Saskatchewan, that got snuffed out by a major foul after the play. So solely back on the punt. Harrington back deep. He'll let it bounce. It'll go out of play. An outstanding kick there. Stay with us. You're watching.
Welcome back. 8:56 to go. Tie game, and big players step up in big moments. Defensive lineman Alex Fedgen, certainly one of the leaders on this X team. After that last sequence on that penalty by the Huskies, he called the defense over to the bench. He got them together, and he was very vocal, and he said, hey, we've got to play our game. If they're going to do those kinds of things to us, we got to ignore it. We don't retaliate. We go out and play X football. Big moment there from Fedgen. Vince?
So we'll have a look at the last play. Almost, but watch his arm, because I believe it's going forward right there. So because he was going forward, that's considered an incomplete pass. Very, very fortunate for St. of X that they're in a second down and 10 from their own 10 or 11 yard line.
Banyan. Bussy in the backfield. Swing pass out, and incomplete pass, and a flag on the play.
Now that's interesting to see, because
he might have been in the end zone when he attempted that pass.
And that's all right. But here we'll wait for the call. The call.
So it's a hold on the call here. They're going to decline it, John.
So the question here becomes, do you give up 2? You give up 2 points, knowing that then you come back.
8:21 remaining here in the fourth. So decision time for Gary Waterman and the X-Men.
I think you have to give up 2, then you know a field goal would win it for you in the end, but here's the last play. Just
couldn't squeeze it. Seth Hundaby with the pressure in his face. Seth with 3.5 sacks on the season, 42 tackles. Hadley back there, the punt. And Hadley will surrender the safety. So the Huskies take the lead 15-13. Welcome back to Antigonish, Nova Scotia. The Huskies taking the lead on a safety, 15-13. They'll scrimmage from their own 35. 8:11 and counting remaining here in the fourth. Alongside John McNeil, Vince Williams on hand. Scott Squires is here as well. Here's Riker Frank, who's had a huge second half, John, for the Huskies. Another positive game.
He certainly has. This is what really has gotten them possession, ability to go down, put some more points on the board. So huge right now at St. of X. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to run blitz? Are you going to bring extra people up? Because if you do, then you're going to find yourself getting passed on. And Mason Nias Would love that situation.
2nd down and 6. Nias fires, great catch by Weed. 1st down yardage, flag on the play.
Be interesting to see what the flag is in this case. That was a beautiful thrown ball.
Let's check out the preliminary signal. It looks like
against St. F.
Yes, there was illegal contact or pass interference. Let's get the official call here from Greg McLean.
Well, we've had a lot of big drives. This is another one because if they put more points on the board right now, it's a doable.
Illegal contact, that is declined. Weed with the big catch over the middle.
Only a 3-man rush, and you know the DBs are going to have to be more aggressive.
Nias, lots of time once again. And he'll go back to Weed. And Weed will pick up 1st down yardage. As Weed really turning it on in the 2nd half for the Huskies.
Well, generally speaking, there's a saying that the further you get away from zero coverage, that's man-to-man coverage, the more difficult it becomes to take away the run underneath and short passing. And that's what's happening right now. So you've got a lot of people deep if they go deep. Right now they need people up front, so you know they need to get some blitzing going on here.
Daniel Weed, 4 receptions for 54 yards. Nice with pressure. Gets it off, and once again it's Weed. Weed now. Weed stays up on his feet. Weed, and Weed will get into the end zone. Outstanding play as Daniel Weed has taken over this game. Touchdown, a huge one for the Huskies, and that was massive for Saskatchewan.
That may be the death knell right there because he had to avoid 4 or 5 short tackles, made himself, and this whole drive has been his.
Outstanding touchdown run after the catch by Daniel Weed. 41-yard touchdown for Weed, and it was a big one. Some happy fans that made the trip to Antigonish, Nova Scotia. 4 plays, 75 yards, 1:45, and a 41-yard touchdown by Daniel Weed. Solis kicks up and good. And it's good, so man, oh man, what a turn of events for Saskatchewan. They lead at 22-13, John.
Well, I tell you, that running game, an effort, 2nd effort, 3rd effort, doing the job. Now again, the same old challenge. St. FX has to answer. Now the clock becomes a problem at 6:26. Now you have to start thinking about clock management, but more importantly, you need to get the ball down the field. Can you do it in little increments? Yes, but you got to be aware of how much of that clock you're using up because you could be hurting yourself. What do they need to do different? They can still run yard time. They need to get those passes about 8 or 9 yards, get the 1st downs. They don't need to go all the way downtown for it right now, but they need to get a response when they get field position, put themselves in some kind of a scoring situation, because now it's 2 scores, not 1.
So the 5th reception on the afternoon by the sophomore from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Daniel Weed, a 41-yard touchdown. Harrington, and Harrington is brought down quickly.
Well, it was a center return call that he was trying to get there in a hurry. But good job by Saskatchewan staying in your lane all the way downfield making the tackle. So they're starting from the tough spot. St. FX is their own 15-yard line. Can be done. It's going to take everything they've got left.
So 6:22 remaining in the 4th. St. FX trailing 22-13. Looking for that ever important response here. Give to Bussey. Bussey tries to break a tackle, and he is brought down. And that linebacking core for Saskatchewan has been stout this afternoon, John.
It has been good. The times that they had difficulty were because of good plays by St. FX, not mistakes that they were making. Right now, it's a 2nd and 5. Doable, but they have to get this 1st down because I think they're in 3-down territory right now, regardless if they're in their own end.
Novak with the tackle on that last play. Intercepted, and that'll be a pick six. And that was explosive. A huge play by John Stahl. Stahl, the sophomore from Melville, Saskatchewan. Pick six for the Huskies, and that's the backbreaker.
Great job on his drop, keeping his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. He sees just as much as the receiver does, and when that ball goes, he makes his step, picks it off, made it look oh so easy.
So 5:27 remaining in the fourth. John Stahl, a huge play defensively for the Huskies. They got one last weekend in the Hardy Cup to seal it for them. Their 21st Hardy Cup. And man, what a big play for that defense. So it looks like we'll have a penalty here. Time count violation on the Huskies. They'll move back 5 more yards. Should be a chip shot though for Soli. So John, if you're St. X right now, 5:27 remaining, you got a lot of work to do.
You can read the writing on the wall. Now I noticed there's 2 Reeds on the Huskies. Are they brothers?
We'll check that out, but we'll be back. Stay with us. You're watching the Uteck Bowl here on CBC.
Fourth quarter of this Uteck Bowl. And after that last pick six by Silas Fanion, immediately Coach Gary Waterman from St. X came over and was very vocal, said, hey, let it go, let it go. And Silas Fanion, very upset with himself on the sideline, but he had a number of teammates come over, tap him on the helmet, tap him on the shoulder blades, say, hey, we're going to pick you up, let's keep going. Vince?
Thanks for that, Scott. Soli with the kickoff here. Here's Ben Harrington. He's been busy in this second half. Harrington tries to break a tackle, and he'll be brought down at his own 25-yard line, and that's where St. X will scrimmage.
Oh, it would have been so nice if Harrington could have got a nice long run or even a touchdown, but good coverage there by Saskatchewan. And so now, I said the writing's on the wall. With 5:21, we got a St. X player down, injured here, so it'll be a stoppage in play. But you want to end it on a high note, and I think they're going to be looking here at getting the ball in the air, and maybe the odd pass in a short situation.
So 5:21 remaining here in regulation. Saskatchewan trying to punch their ticket to the Canada Life Vanier Cup next weekend in London, Ontario. So first down for St. X. Bussey looking for room, breaks a tackle. Ringland trying to chase him down, and that's the biggest gain on the afternoon by Malcolm Bussey.
I know it's easy for people to say, should we see more of Bussey? But I have not got a complaint with the play calling from either one of these coaching staffs. Here, he showed us that he can break away. We talked about it at the start of the second half. He was only a step away from busting some plays. But right now, remember, Saskatchewan's willing to give up run plays. They'll make sure that you're not going to get much passing-wise.
19-yard pickup for Bussey. First and 10. Play action. Down the middle, looking for Harrington. And Joseph with the coverage there.
Well, I'd like to see them go to Oud. He was so strong for most of this game.
Second down coming up. And we talked about the gambling situation. If you're St. X with just under 5 minutes to go, if you're Gary Waterman, this is third down territory.
This is definitely, they'll use all the downs. So right he has to look at now is, work at that 10-yard area.
Trips right. Fanion. He'll find Ross, and Ross will be brought down a minimal gain. Be a third down and about 5 for the X-Men.
Well, I don't know whether they put a spy on Silas Fannion yet, but this might be a play. If he can roll and give himself a chance or open up the middle, but he needs to pick up first down yardage, and they're looking at a third, but not very long. Maybe 4 yards, 4.5.
Huge moment. 3rd and 4. Banyan drops back. Looking for Hood. And Hood once again with the circus catch. And that'll be a first down for St. X.
Well, he's been the man on the day. And he should be just giving him that old spoon, feed me sign. Because he's been the man they've gone to a number of times. He's made some fantastic catches. Coverage is there. Hood just gets his body between the defender and the ball and goes up and gets it.
Nixon Bolt on the coverage there for the Huskies. First and 10. Play action. Wide open is Harrington. Touchdown, St. X. Blown coverage as Joseph looking back, looking for that help in the back end, but a touchdown for Ben Harrington.
You're exactly right. Blown coverage, and they got the ball. They made the catch. They got their touchdown, and this timeline is still good.
Looking for that deep help. John Stahl trying to get there. Ringland trying to catch up as well, as it looked like Joseph let Harrington free. Easy pitch and catch for St. X.
Going to be interesting how they follow up.
So St.
Looks
X
like
will go
going
for
after
2.
Because then it would be an 8-point, a touchdown with 2 conversions, and I believe you would tie.
Banyan drops back, swings it out to the right, and just out of the reach of Blackwood. We'll be back. Stay with us. You're watching the Uteck Bowl here on CBC. 10-point game, 38-yard touchdown catch by Ben Harrington, John, and man, oh man, this one is turning into a barn burner.
Yep, my question now is, do you go onside kick? Because with 3:01, you know, onside kick in Canadian football is doable. In American, you can't, because you can call for a fair catch, but not in Canadian football. So this might be an onside. It looks like Saskatchewan definitely setting up for that possibility. We'll see if X declares themselves or just gets it downfield.
Kabongo and Vavra deep for the Huskies. Ben Hadley. And Hadley will send it down deep, and we'll have a time count violation as Hadley took too much time to get this one off.
That's unfortunate. You know, the clock itself was not running. It was the 20-second clock that he violated.
Yep.
That makes
the play
a difference.
clock.
That's right.
So a redo. He'll march it back 5 yards. Hadley will regroup.
Yeah, now would you do the onside kick? Let's fool him, eh?
Yeah. That would be the time to catch him off guard for sure. After they gave him a look, they're going to kick it deep.
I think they're going deep.
Hadley again. He'll send it down. This time it's a squib kick. Picked up by Favre. Favre trying to go out wide. Makes a man miss, and he'll step out of bounds, and they'll scrimmage at the 39-yard line. Nias has been outstanding. 26 completions, 261 yards.
5 years, great experience. He showed leadership, etc. Went through a tough first half. Remember him limping off to the sidelines.
Doesn't seem to be limping this time. He's definitely healthy out there now. Mason Nias.
Now it's time to see lots of run. Run the ball. Maybe a short pass if they're in trouble.
Well, they have Frank and Riker into the game at the same time. Kabongo. Hand off to Riker. Here's Riker Frank, and he's brought down. Coyote again with a huge tackle.
Keep the ball on the ground. They got that corner was a little soft. X couldn't close it off. Have a look here and see. Watch the corner. There's the block right there, and I believe it was Ted Bongo made the block.
Daniel Weeb sealing the corner there as well. Great vision. You can see right into the eyes of Riker Frank as he made his way downfield.
So now they do it the other way.
Manageable. Play action. Kabongo out wide. Kabongo wide open, and Kabongo will haul it in, and he'll get the first down.
And this is all they need to do right now, is just play pitch and catch if you're going to throw. A few runs inside, eat the clock up, don't give the ball away.
As you can see, Mason Nice taking his time. High football IQ there by the fifth-year senior from Regina.
And when we say don't give the ball away, Saskatchewan tried a number of times. They were very fortunate in the first 3 or 4 to regain possession.
Nice now. 1st and 10. Blitz coming by the X-Men. Here's Frank, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's all about defense now, because with the clock winding down to 2 minutes here, you have to hold them. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. And we haven't seen a lot of blitzing, but I can't say they've played poorly on defense, so why would you? They've done a good job. They just, at the wrong time, Saskatchewan made some great plays.
Tackle there by Nick Connors. Good afternoon for him for Santa Vex. Saskatchewan taking their time, milking that game clock. Nias. Pass is caught over the middle, and that's Morin. Late flag after the catch, and it might be on Saskatchewan here. Vetchin is down on the turf. Looks like he's in some difficulty here. Morin definitely got first down yardage on that catch. And Alex Vetchin, you can see, in a lot of difficulty here with the right leg, John.
Penalty may be after. Penalty may be after. Objectionable conduct against Saskatchewan. You can't hear, the mic is out.
So dead ball foul. They got first down yardage. It'll come back 10 yards, so it will still be a first down for the Huskies.
Yeah, we apologize. The referees' batteries went, and so we don't have that communication to get direct control. But Vince, I'm sitting beside a great official, so hey.
So 29-19, 10-point lead for the Huskies. In full control are the champions from the Canada West Conference. Frank again, really wearing out that right side of the offensive line and left side of the defensive line. 19 for 134 for Riker Frank. Timeout called by St. Vex. Once again, John, just using that great vision and banging up positive yardage, and that's what he's been doing.
He's been doing a great job.
Let's send it down to Scott Squires.
Thanks, Vince. And you were mentioning Alex Vetchin coming over, and he had called off the trainers. As soon as he came over, he got over to the bench, and he's sitting down. He was stretching out that right leg, and now he's got, I don't know what it is, but some kind of device, and he's kind of massaging out that right thigh. But again, no trainers with him. He's taking care of it himself, and hopefully hopes to get back into the game. Vince?
Thanks for that, Scott. Second down and about 6 here for the Huskies. Timeout on the field, 10-point lead. They're a minute 34 to punching their ticket to the Vanier Cup in back-to-back years.
Well, a very exciting game, a game that, coming in the stats and what we had seen shown that Saskatchewan might have an easy ride, and they have not.
No,
this game has gone back and forth. X has done a fantastic job. Saskatchewan's recovered.
Nias goes out wide. Weeb again. Weeb still up on his feet, breaks the tackle. Daniel Weeb, and he's finally brought down. But Daniel Weeb has been explosive this afternoon, in particular in the second half for the Huskies.
You're right, so elusive, so difficult to bring down. Have a look here. Good throw. Weeb makes the catch. Now is when he becomes dangerous. Look, breaks up. 2 players had a shot at him. He's not down yet.
6 for 108
and he's
yards.
He's escaped again.
And that's how he scored his touchdown on a crossing route. 41 yards. Here's Frank. Frank is brought down by Blackett. Once again, positive yardage. Just over a minute to go in regulation.
Just picking up what you need to make that second down easier. They're not interested in the end zone. They got the points on the board. They're interested in getting that clock run down. X takes the timeout here.
Good look at the Huskies bench area. Cool, calm, and collective, as they know there are 1:04 remaining from the Canada Life Vanier Cup next weekend in London, Ontario. You can see very happy right now. They're not really showing it, John, but you got to expect to come into big games like this. You know you want to win and you want to put things down and put it on the line. And this afternoon, they did it in the second half. Slow start in the first half. You know, they were trying to feel each other out. It's the unknown in these type of ball games where 2 teams haven't played each other and they're very familiar with each other.
That's correct. Very well said. They certainly have stuck with it. This second half been a completely different team.
Here's Mason Nyes, who's had a huge game, all kinds of time once again. He'll go into the end zone, and it's caught by Daniel Perry. Touchdown, Huskies. Outstanding catch by Perry as he was able to beat Kayut on the go route.
Well, that's unfortunate. A great play, great reception, but it's unfortunate because it starts to make it look like a blowout, which it hasn't been. But a beautiful throw. Kayut's there, just loses his step. Great looking job there by Daniel Perry.
So Perry, 4th year senior from Calgary, a Canada West All-Star. He picks up his first touchdown of the afternoon, and that should just about do it with just under a minute, remaining in regulation, 56 seconds. Solely in on for the extra point. It's up and good.
As you said, that definitely will do it. But as I mentioned, really interesting to see how they needed to come back and did the job. You could almost see the communication. X had been feeding off their positive plays, and there were many today.
Kind of like deja vu.
Yes.
Kind of like deja vu from 1996, John, where Santa Vex had a lead 12-0 in that Vanier Cup in Toronto, and Saskatchewan reeled off 31 unanswered points to win the ball game, winning 31-12, and they were able to get on a run here in the second half. 23 points in the second half. So the adjustments made, and Scott Flory was in that game in 1996.
That's true.
An outstanding offensive lineman, Scott Flory, 15 years in the CFL, an offensive coordinator as well at the CFL level with the Montreal Alouettes. So he knows what it takes to be in big football games, especially tight ones. So Harrington will take the kickoff. That is Hood, and he is met at the 30-yard line. Flag on the play. Let's see what it is.
Well, there was some, you get exuberant now because you're winning. You know what's going to happen. So we'll see whether that's the call. There may have been a little activity there, a little overboard.
And we can take a look at the bracket, and it's filled in there, John. The Huskies will fill it, and they will win this Uteck Bowl, the 19th edition, here at Antigonish, Nova Scotia. In convincing performance in the second half, 23 points, 36-19. But if you're Santa Vex, you got to give yourself a tap on the back. You can't leave this field with your head down because you played an outstanding football game.
Definitely. This could have easily gone a different direction. It didn't. That was Spearing, by the way, that penalty. They had running underneath screen. They love nothing more than put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, Bussey able to get a positive gain off of that screen. Gain of 12 for Malcolm Bussey. Bussey, the sophomore from Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia. Banyan now from the Husky 51-yard line. Down the left side, the Blackwood. And it's picked off by Finn Marcotte-Cribb. And Marcotte-Cribb will take a knee. That's his second interception in these playoffs.
Well, that's a smart move right there. You'll see them run the clock out now. It's an attempt to move the ball deep. You know, X was doing everything. They'd love to have scored another touchdown. They did not. But hats off to St. F.X., the coaching crew. They really put their best foot forward. Right up until, I would say, probably the start of the fourth, maybe into the fourth before it declared itself, because Saskatchewan was able to put 2 touchdowns on the board.
34.2 remaining in regulation. And there's the Husky faithful that made the trip from Saskatchewan to cheer on their Huskies.
Nails take a knee and then come up and do that again. And while we got a second here, Vince, just like to thank you. I really enjoyed doing this game with you today. Really appreciate it. And it was exciting. We were both excited all the way through the third quarter, well into the fourth before it declared itself.
It was an outstanding ball game, to say the least, by both of these combatants. As the Huskies, though, they will move on to the
Great
Canada
job.
Life Vanier Cup. Yeah, got to give credit to the crew, the Universal crew.
Universal crew, fantastic job today.
As the clock will run out here at St. F.X. Stadium. The final kneel down, the victory formation for Mason Nias and the Huskies. They will go back to the Canada Life Vanier Cup. So there it is. The Huskies are the champions of the 2022 Uteck Bowl.
And the celebrations start. St. F.X. walking a little slower, but they have to feel good what they did on the day. They have to feel good about.
Yes, the Huskies, you can see. Yeah, a little subdued as being away from Griffiths Stadium in Saskatoon, but nevertheless, a championship here as they will play for the national championship next weekend. Great performance by St. F.X., as you mentioned, John, to show up and really push this Husky team on all 3 phases of this ball game.
You know, it was so unexpected to see their response, St. F.X., and how they then fed off themselves, you know, well into the game. So it was a really great college football bowl game, and it really helped, I think, this conference, which needed to get some good feelings about the football that was being played, and I think that more than anything was what St. F.X. did today. They really put their best foot forward, showed that this conference can be competitive, and I think with a little more effort, even more so.
Yes, the handshakes there, Mason Nias. Huge game this afternoon for Nias in the passing game. 327 yards, 506 total offense was for the Saskatchewan Huskies. And that running game set up by Riker Frank. He came on in that second half, John, and he was the catalyst. He led it the way, and then in the passing game, Daniel Weeb, he was outstanding with some huge catches, including a 41-yard touchdown where he broke a couple tackles.
Weeb, very impressive. Very, very impressive, like you said. And the running, Frank, great job. A little surprised we didn't see more of Malcolm Bussey, but I'm not complaining because as a whole, the offense played a good game, and so did the defense.
Yes, Malcolm Bussey, 11 for 58 yards on the day. Let's check in with Scott Squires, who's got the quarterback, Mason Nias, the Nike player of the game.
the pride of Regina, Saskatchewan, Mason Nias. How does it feel to be going back to the Vanier Cup?
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty cool feeling. It's one of those things where we did last year, obviously, but it took a long time. I think it was a 15-year drought for the Huskies not going back to the Vanier, so it's pretty cool to get back there, and we know we're going to have a tough test. Whoever wins tonight, it's going to be a good team, so it's going to be interesting, but we're excited to get the win against a good team. Santa Fe played really hard. I was really impressed with their team, and they did a heck of a job. So good test here today, and we're going to have a tough one on next Saturday.
You were undefeated in your home stadium, Griffith Stadium, back in Saskatchewan. This is your first visit to the Maritimes. How does it feel to be undefeated in the Maritimes?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't feel too bad. It's been cool being out here. Santa Fe is a beautiful campus, so yeah, it feels pretty good.
And in your profile on the Saskatchewan Huskies website, it says your favorite moment as a Husky was your game-winning drive in last year's Uteck Bowl. Where does today stand up?
This one's definitely pretty special. Obviously, whenever you can win a national bowl game, it's pretty cool. So it's up there, but Montreal is still pretty elite.
30 completions for you today, 327 yards, a couple of touchdowns. What was the key for you today?
Just being disciplined. Obviously, they're a good defense. They dropped a lot of guys. We had to take some stuff underneath, and just receivers getting yak, and get the ball to the athletes. They'll take care of the rest.
Last one for you before we let you go celebrate. What did the Saint FX team show you guys today?
That they're a good team. Any youth sports football team is a good team. They were undefeated in the Comets for a reason. I respect a lot of those players. They're all good players, and they fought hard tonight. So I respect that team a lot, and I'm just happy to be moving on.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck in the Vanier Cup. Let's go back up to the booth, guys.
Thanks a lot there, Scott. Mason Nice. He was outstanding this afternoon, John, and there it is. The Uteck Bowl trophy, the banner. As you can see, Saskatchewan waiting for it. I'm not sure if they're even going to touch that thing.
Oh, they will. They will just trying to watch to see what the procedure is, and they'll loosen up there. We see Pierre Arsenault at the bottom of the screen, who Youth Sports. He'll be part of the group that's giving that trophy, but they'll celebrate. They're just waiting for the right moment.
And there's Sue Uteck, the widow of the great Larry Uteck, who I had the pleasure of playing under at St. Mary's University. So you can see the Huskies there. Mason Nias in the screen, the Nike player of the game. And on the defensive side, John Stahl, the Nike player of the game for the Huskies with that pick six.
Pick six was a big one for sure.
As Nias will take it.
Great picture right there. It's Sue Uteck.
So the Huskies punching their ticket to the Canada Life Vanier Cup next weekend, and they won't probably get the same playing conditions in London, Ontario, as a big winter storm blowing in there, as well as the Midwest of the United States. So you can see the defensive player of the game, John Stahl. Huge interception by Stahl. The backbreaker on defense is Stahl, sophomore from Melville, Saskatchewan.
They are really subdued for when does the celebration start?
Well, I mean, they know they got one more game to win.
That's true.
This is the road to the Canada Life Vanier Cup. They'll celebrate, I would imagine, on that 22-hour trip back to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
And the captains for the Huskies will take possession of it as they win the 19th Uteck Bowl and add another banner. So the Vanier Cup has one participant heading to London, Ontario. And that'll be next weekend. The Canada Life Vanier Cup here on CBC, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, kickoff time. We don't know who will be their partner in that Vanier Cup. That will go later today in London when the Western Mustangs will take on the Laval Rougeailleurs. So for John McLean, Scott Squires, my producer, Ed Illiken, my director, Scott McLean and the entire Great Universal crew, I'm Vince Williams saying thank you for watching the 2022 Uteck Bowl from Antigonish, Nova Scotia. So long and good night.